than 60 years, Canadian Tire Motorsport Park has stood as one of North America's most demanding battlegrounds. And for decades, the Trans Am Series has returned here, where legends are tested on some of the fastest, most punishing corners in racing. Today, it's all about tricky elevations and blind corners. On top of the usual challenges here at CTMP, this weekend's schedule throws a whole new wrench into the works. For the first time this season, the TA and TA2 fields collide, two classes in one race. And when power and traffic mix at this speed, chaos is never far behind. Paul Menard and Tristan McKee lead their classes into Canada, but with hungry challengers on their heels, every lap becomes a gamble. The conditions demand risk, the moment demands courage, and only the bold will leave here closer to a championship. This is the Trans Am Racing Series presented by Pirelli. Did you pack your courage in your lunchbox today? You're going to need it. The 2.4-mile Canadian Tire Motorsport Park will check your bravery level at every one of its 10 turns. Once known as Mosport, Canada's second oldest race circuit rises and falls through the countryside like a great white north roller coaster. Keep your arms and legs inside the ride as we get set to drop the green on the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Sheheen. Welcome just outside of Toronto, about an hour, to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. You see the drivers getting ready, the cars are all getting set. We should be underway here shortly at the racetrack that was once known as Mosport. There's a good look at Adam Andretti's machine, the number 17. He'll be ready to go here today. For the first time in 2025, we mix the Trans Am field and the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 cars together in one race. Should make for an even more exciting event here today at CTMP. Paul Menard has his Pittsburgh paints and stains number 3 Mustang ready to go. Chris Dyson will be on the pole in his Jim Weed machine. Tommy Dreesy coming off of an IROC win out at WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, all set, and young Tristan McKee going to be chasing them all here. It's going to be a fun afternoon of racing at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. This combination of Trans Am and TA2 together is going to really mix things up. We already have the fastest circuit overall. It is the 4th fastest lapping track in the world here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. And you mix that in with a strong field of Trans Am cars, and now the strength of the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 cars as well, it's really going to make things challenging. One of the big topics of conversation is the TA2 cars being ready as the Trans Am cars catch up to the tail end of their field and start working their way through. And, of course, everybody keeping their thoughts and prayers with Barry Bowes, who we tragically lost just days ago. He's certainly on the minds of everybody here and in our hearts, and everybody be racing in honor of Barry here today. And there's a good look at some of the most challenging portions of Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Everybody talking about the elevation changes, how dramatic they are, and how many blind corners. There's only 10 turns here at CTMP, but the majority of them are taken at over 100 miles an hour. So you mix that in with the blindness of the turns and not being able to see apexes and when you're supposed to get back on the throttle. You really have to rely heavily on your faith in the car, the aero on the car, that your team has put you in a position with a race car that will do what you need it to do when you need it to do it, get the lap time you're in search of. Well, we had an opportunity to walk through the paddock a little bit yesterday and talk to some of the drivers about their thoughts on racing here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
It's just awesome in general because of the amount of support that this series and that all the other series that we run with get here.
It's as advertised, a lot of momentum. You know, turn 1, turn 2, 3, and 4 are very light brake, a lot of throttle time, just trying to keep momentum up. It's super fast. We run a lot of fourth gear corners.
When you feel your car not really totally underneath you, but you know you have to hit the throttle going downhill, and when it doesn't feel like you should be getting on throttle, you have to in order to rotate the car. So I think commitment or faith is what it takes, you know, until you have really good practice and get up to speed.
It's a fun track. It's kind of flowy like some of the other tracks that we've had on the schedule so far this year, so I'm definitely liking it a lot, getting used to it here in practice, so it's going really well. It's a really fun track. It's just kind of like a rhythm track where there's a lot of crests and hills, and you know, you're going up and down, so it's just kind of like a rhythm track.
Coming down those hills and realizing you have to get back on throttle because you see somebody either pulling away or you see your time dipping down, it's an article of faith.
And this track is absolutely one of my favorites. It's one of the craziest places to come and really hang a car out. Canadian Tire Motorsport Park is a wild place to throw a lap down. This is quite a combination of both guts for corner entry and whatnot, but then, you know, the way I study tracks and go over stuff, you've got so many blind entry corners. Like you don't see your track out on the entry to 1. You don't see your apex on the approach to 2. Entry to 3, you know, 4 is this gutsy crazy thing where you immediately have to then dial back and get very technical, pay attention to your car, and feel that drive off out of 5, and then again, you know, you raise it right back up through the roof on the guts level and entering 9, 10, 11 there, and so you've got to be able to put a lap together. You've got to be able to think fairly quickly. And this place is about subtlety because it's so fast that you don't just throw it in and expect to save it out the back end every time. You've got to make incremental steps to get up to speed without doing damage to your car, because you've got so many 100-mile-an-hour plus corners linked together.
But layout-wise, this is like the last true classic course where it hasn't been touched. Like, I can talk to my Uncle Mario and ask him about this place that they've done no adjustments to. I think that maybe they shaved one of the hill and turned 4 down a little bit at one point to take some of the jump out of it. Favorite place to pass here is tough. This is a tough passing place. If you could get the run down into 5, 6, that's probably like the strongest place. And what Ron Fells has done since his time of being ownership here has been phenomenal.
Yeah, no, I won my very first Trans Am race was here in 1989. You know, we continue to upgrade the experience for fans and for our corporate guests as well. The bulk of the infrastructure upgrades are complete. We continue to add more sort of value camping, and it's been the really exciting phenomenon coming out of COVID. Camping has gone crazy.
And the camping has gone crazy, and there are quite a few of them here this weekend, especially when you get over to turns 5A and B, famed Moss corners here at CTMP. You'll see them in the background all over the fence line there, watching these Trans Am drivers in action here today. Well, more pre-race ceremony activity for you when we return to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park after these words.
up and get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy-to-make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Back here on Speed Sport 1, looking live at some of the cars competing in our Trans Am race here this weekend. Two drivers here from Canada competing in their home race. James Beaton, who you just saw in the Playtime Hot Rods and Motorsports Chevy Corvette. And we also have Roberto Sabato in car number 61 in the 6-gear garage Ford Mustang, who hails from just up the road in Toronto. Only one driver in today's field has a win here in the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli, and that is Paul Menard, who is the reigning champion and current points leader in the series. Menard comes in seeking his second consecutive Trans Am championship. He's got 4 victories in the first 8 rounds of the season, including the most recent outing at Watkins Glen. Chris Dyson, however, has won here in IMSA competition, so he knows how to get to the Jim Weed Victory Circle area here. Just got to do it in a Trans Am car here this weekend. Let's go down to the middle of the grid where all the activity is. Here's Ben Cissell.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. This is a grid walk here for the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. We were here last year. It was unbelievable. Love being here for the Labor Day sprints. We've got Paul Menard here in the Pittsburgh Paints and Stains car, the winner of last year's race. But he's starting P2 over Chris Dyson. Paul Menard started out last year in the lead. Chris Dyson then took the lead, and then Paul Menard retook the lead. One of the best races from last year. But this is a race, Chris, where the pole position is pretty important. It's tough passing out there.
Look, I mean, this is motorsport. It's a place where anything can happen. It's high speed. It's high stakes. Obviously, it's a Trans Am race. We all want to win these. Paul and I put on a great race. We've got, obviously, Tommy and Adam right behind us, Amy. It's going to be a good show, and I think we put on a great race for the fans last year. We're running with the TA2s, so that's going to create some interesting challenges for us to navigate out there. But I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully we can keep the Jim Weed car where it's starting.
Now, is it true that Rob Dyson, your dad, is Grand Marshal at Lime Rock this weekend for the Vintage? How cool is that?
Oh, it's great. It's very, very fun for him. I'm only sorry we can't be in 2 places at once.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so congratulations, Rob. Great event there. So, like I said, Paul Menard here in the 31. He's usually the 3, but we have a number 3 in TA2. Then we come back here, Adam Andretti actually talking to Paul Menard. So, Paul, welcome back. You're going to try to win this race again. How does it feel?
Car's really good. We obviously great to be back here at Mosport at Canadian Tire. First time was last year, and just a really cool track. The fans show up. I had a great autograph session earlier today, and car's just been really solid all weekend. So Chris got us for the pole by, I think, 8/100ths, and it should be a hell of a race trying to get by him.
Nice. I love that. And then look at these names. So we're talking about Dyson, Paul Menard, Adam Andretti here. And Adam, pressure's on because you got to hit that Andretti section here at Mosport just perfectly every time.
Oh, absolutely, or I'm going to hear about it. Yeah. So, no, you got to. This is a place where you got to hit it all the time because it is so high commitment, such high speed, and if you miss it you miss your mark just by a little bit, you're kind of out to lunch. But thank you to all the race fans. You Canadian race fans are absolutely amazing. You come out in droves. You know what's going on, and you enjoy your Molsons better than anybody. So we love that, and thank you for showing up and being a part of a Labor Day weekend. It's going to be a great one, and I think we're going to put on a great show. This top-liner Camaro from Burton Racing has been really fast all weekend long, and we didn't maybe have the one-lap pace yesterday for them, but our race pace is real strong.
Nice. I love it. Well, Adam Andretti. Then we come over here talking to one of my new heroes. I watched him a couple weeks ago at Monterey, being the champion of the International Race of Champions with Ray Evernham's new program, racing out there and beating some of your absolute childhood heroes. How was that, Tommy Dreese?
Yeah, it was pretty. It was really great. Those guys are my heroes, and we knew the track a little bit better than them. I think if they go back again, I think it'll be a better fight. And, yeah, just an honor to be driving with those heroes, those legends.
Did any of your heroes extend the middle finger to you while out on track? Because that would be like the ultimate, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think getting flipped off by one of them would have been really cool.
Well, that's awesome. Tommy Dreesy with Trent Shoring, who was doing Trent Shoring very proud. Then we've got the service partners. Adam's like, don't forget about service partners here. New with Burton Racing, so great to have them here. Then we come to our two-time Trans Am champion, who I was just talking to her early, Amy Rumans, with this beautiful McNichols Metal Service Center, Valley Chevy Automotive. But she raced here against Ron Fellows in one of her favorite races and one of Ron's favorite races. So, Amy, welcome back.
Thanks. We haven't been here for 11 years, so we're just getting back to getting our car up to speed, and hopefully we'll have a great day and looking for a great race today.
Nice. Well, Amy, thank you so much for coming out. Now, our Canadians, the fans, the Maple Leafs. This guy may be the one to watch. James Beaton here in XGT with the Playtime Hot Rods and Motorsports. This is your home track. I couldn't believe the speed that you were putting down. You've out-qualified all the TA2 cars. So, man, what's your plan when this green flag drops?
Win the trophy for passing the most cars.
Win the trophy for passing the most cars. We were talking, though, you're just a couple hours east of here, so this is your home track. And this is a difficult track for some of our people, our drivers that have never been here. You've got some seat time here.
Oh, too much. I think I could drive it backwards with my eyes closed at this point.
Nice. I love it. Well, James, have fun out there. So he's starting up here, but you're going to see him start after the pace laps. He's going to fall back to the back of TA2. That's what he was comfortable with. Then we're going to come here, Tristan McKee. So, as you can see here, Tristan, come over by your car. Tristan McKee is wearing Barry Bowes on the side of his car. I'm wearing a Barry Bowes sticker. Barry Bowes was last year's Pro-Am champion. He hadn't missed a Trans Am race since 2019. Tragically, just a few days ago, his life was taken in an airplane accident. So Tristan McKee, his teammate, and they've been working together all season long, getting fast together, is running in tribute to Barry Bowes. So let's talk a little bit about that, Tristan. What does that mean for you? Because I know Barry Bowes was doing everything he could to win the Pro-Am championship this year, but also help you with your championship as well.
Yeah, it's obviously really special to be able to wear his name on the car and the stickers for almost everyone in the field. So it's super, super special. Yeah, just like you said, I worked with Barry a lot this year, and we've been getting better and better all year. And we got to where Barry and I were really, really close there at some of the tracks, Watkins Glen and in Mid-Ohio and some of the others. So it was just really, really cool to see the progress in both of us when we were both working together.
Nice. I love it. Well, Tristan McKee, our points leader in the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series, doing really, really well. Tyler Gonzalez, who got on the podium here with us last year in this beautiful Mobile 1 Nitro Motorsports car. Tyler, welcome back to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. How's it feel?
Glad to be back. It was really cool to see all the fans earlier today, and going to try and put on a show for you guys.
Nice. Put on a show for us. One of the best crowds we're going to have all season here at CTMP. So thank you guys so much for coming out. We're going to put some pressure on these drivers to put on a good show. But Roberto Sabato, this guy cannot figure out where he's from. He's running an Italian flag. He's got a garage right there. But then also your sheet says you're from Florida. So first clear this up. Where in the world are you from?
I'm born in Toronto, Italian heritage, and I do have a place in Florida.
But you call Canada home, and this is your home, your motorsports home.
We've been here 21 years doing lapping days, and this is where it all started for me. So it's an important race. I have to finish today.
Not only that, but I hope you don't take this offensively, but you are way up there, man. I guess that home field advantage, knowing this track, really helps out.
Yeah, like I said, I started here in 2004, and then it's just the place I'm most comfortable for sure.
Nice. I love it. I love it. We're going to try to come back through here. That's Roberto Sabato. DaCosta here in a different car. DaCosta had a pretty bad off in his Toyota Camry, and Nitro was able to put this through back over, and now he's in this car. But you're qualified really well, so I guess all is well with you in this Mustang.
Yeah, like you said, the Nitro crew did a great job getting the car together. Obviously, we had a pretty big off. That car wasn't exactly fixable to make qualifying, but they did a great job getting this car put together, getting me comfortable in it. and we're here. So we're starting P3. I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a great race. This track is really fun to drive. So.
I love it. I love it. Well, watch out for DaCosta out there. Sam Corey doing really well with the Stilo. I think you're third in points in the championship. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, what are you going to do when the green flag drops here at CTMP?
Oh, we're going to get after it. So looking forward to it today. It's our first time here. So super fun track, and we got a fast Nitro Motorsports car. So looking forward to it.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, Sam Corey, I'm sorry we don't have time to get back through. I really wanted to talk to Jared Odrick about Barry Bowes, but we're going to come over here to Bill Knox, who's going to deliver our invocation. We've got some dignitaries here. It's going to be unbelievable. But Bill Knox with Road Race Ministries is going to be here, and they're saying we're 5 minutes out from invocation. Okay, well, then we're going to keep walking through. Thank you for that. Had a little bit of a miscommunication, guys, but we're going to make this thing entertaining. Sometimes awkward is entertaining, as anybody knows better than Thomas Merrill, because I can ask him some awkward questions. But Thomas, doing very well here, running also the Barry Bowes sticker. How you feeling about CTMP?
I'm just so happy to be back here up north of the border. This is one of my favorite racetracks. I never raced here until last year. It was great. It was a great show. Appreciate all the fans coming out, so we'll put on a good show for you guys.
Thomas, thank you so much. Running out here with HP Tuners, the number 26. We've got 2 HP Tuner cars out here. Then all the way from New York City, Adrian Lostowski here with CMI doing very well. That podium that I was saying at the beginning of the season, you're going to get on the podium this year, just keeps barely eluding you. Is this going to be the event that you're on the podium?
Yeah, I don't want to jinx it. You know, so you keep jinxing me each race. So this time, don't jinx me, okay?
All right, so you probably won't get on the podium. How are you feeling about that?
Exactly. So most likely, I don't want to say it, but we'll talk afterwards.
All right, nice.
And I just wanted to say, yeah, it's really sad that we don't have Barry Bowes here. He was really a nice guy, always friendly, and it's really sad we don't have him here. It's like a hole in our sport now, and just thoughts and prayers are with his family and everybody.
I love it. I echo that. It's been since 2019 that Barry Bowes has not been at a Trans Am event, so it's a big part of our family. And instead of doing a moment of silence like you might think, what we're going to do at Podium is we invite everybody, all the racers' crew, to come to Winner's Circle, because we are going to have a moment of party in remembrance for Barry Bowes. We think that's what he would like. Gian Buffamonte, all the way from the Chicago area, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I saw you in a NASCAR truck race not too long ago, but in this beautiful car. How are you feeling about being at CTMP?
This track's awesome. It's my first time here. Really fast, really flowy, high commitment, and it's just a lot of fun. The Nitro Boys have done a great job with this car. I feel really confident, and we're going to go forward.
Nice. I love it. Well, Gian Buffamonte, look at all this real estate here for sponsors and that beautiful number 95. And we've been talking a lot about Barry Bowes and Jared Odrick, his closest competitor in Pro-Am. And Barry Bowes, I know you guys were really good friends. And it's a weird thing because I know you come from the NFL and sports, and usually you're not friends with your closest competitors. But in racing, you have to be. And it was just kind of like your benchmark. And you guys were trying to get better and better than each other every weekend. But I know that you're going to severely miss having that rabbit out there to compete with.
Yeah, no, it was a tough couple days hearing the news, and I think we all felt taken aback by it for quite a while, and it feels pretty surreal showing up to the track and not seeing him, because there's so many times I would look left or look right, and there he was, there Megan was, and luckily Scott Adams is here, and we've got to share a lot of sentiments about Barry because of how much he's meant to us. And for me, being able to come to the Trans Am Series was me following Barry, right? We competed at the SCCA Championships back in 23, and he pulled up to me with one of these TA2 cars, and I couldn't even hear my Cup car. And he was just the coolest guy ever. And sitting on the side of this car, smoking everyone, after Quali and Sebring, I said, I got to be like that guy. So, he was a rabbit, he was a mentor, and he was my biggest supporter in the paddock.
Nice. I love it. Well, Jared Odrick out there with Cool Box black underwear. Look out for him. Keith Prochuk right next to him with HP Tuners. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to walk back up to the front of the grid, but we've got Doug Winston back here, Gallagher. We've got, I'm going to try to make it to everybody. Don't worry. We've got Tom Sheehan, Scheibel back there, but I've been told I got to make my way back up to the front. I'm so sorry I didn't get to everybody. But The fans here, meet us at Victory Circle. After the race, we're going to be throwing out hats and shirts and having a big party like we always do. But I'm coming up here for our invocation. Bill Knox with Road Race Ministries, one of our Trans Am staff, is going to deliver our invocation. I see him up here. I also see one of my childhood heroes, Ron Fellows, up here. How cool is that? So I'm going to give over the 2 microphones to Bill Knox. But before I do that, if we can get a shot here of our honor guard, because we've got some dignitaries. If we can turn around here and get a shot, we should have Constables Wes Kruger and Elise Ezra Cordero with the Durham Regional Police Auxiliary Services Honor Guard. Thank you so much for being here. Bill Knox, if you'll take the mics and deliver the invocation, sir.
If you'll join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, as we come to you today, Father, we remember what was said in John's Gospel, Father, that you have truly created a place in heaven for each and every one of us. And Father, when it is our turn, you yourself will come and claim us. And it's with heavy hearts, Father, that we acknowledge that you came and claimed one of our brethren, Mr. Barry Bowes. And I'd like to do a couple seconds of silence here for Barry as we remember him as the competitor that he was, the racer he was, the friend he was to each and every one of us. And Father, as we come back to you, Father, we ask that you hold this facility within your almighty hands, Father, that you keep the drivers, the crews, the officials, the corner workers, keep them all safe. And Father, we ask once again that you look out and look over for our EMS and our police and our militaries, Father, that they too may have the opportunity to come home to their loving families. In your Son's most precious and honored name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Bill. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a real treat. Julia Middleton to deliver the national anthems for the United States and Canada. I've heard great things, Julia. Let's take it away.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see there rise the true North, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
All right, nicely done. Getting closer to the start as the drivers now will put their helmets on, their Hans devices, and strap into the cars and get final instructions from their crews as we get set to go racing here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Unfortunately, as Ben mentioned earlier, we are missing one very important competitor, Barry Bowes, who we tragically lost just days ago. Barry was a strong competitor, a champion, and a points leader, and his impact in the paddock runs deep amongst his competitors and his friends, as you'll hear here.
He was genuinely liked as a person, hated as a competitor here recently, but which was a good thing, right?
Barry the competitor was as intense as any of the teenagers in this field. One of the only guys with a full-time coach with him to go over every bit of his game, which was great. You know, I love to see that dedication and what any of these drivers. I'd love to see half the young guys putting in as much time and drive and effort and detail into making their game better. So. It's a huge loss for Barry and his family. For us at Trans Am, definitely going to miss him.
For me, it was fun to watch. You know, a 14-year-old and a 54-year-old throwing jabs at each other, but yet truly caring and becoming very good friends was neat to watch. And then, obviously, the other drivers that came into the fold, he was always there for them if he could be, and vice versa. So it was. I'm going to miss him.
It's been pretty tough. You know, it's the first 2 days was really trippy. There was really no other way to put it because, you know, my life has been engulfed by racing, and he was my main competitor, but he was also my biggest supporter, like hands down. Like I didn't get more advice from anybody else than Barry Bowes, and I just think that's such a testament of who he was, as that he was giving his main competitor advice, but I think he wanted to elevate the sport.
Yeah, Barry was a great guy. You know, he was just like Scotty said, he would take up the couch over here, and we'd come in here after each session, practice, qualifying, race, and kind of go over everything, over our video and data. And Barry, you know, taught me some things. I was able to use some of his videos and stuff like that before we came to new racetracks that I'd never been to before, and I also helped him with some of my data at some of the other tracks that, you know, we had both been to. So it was really, really great being able to work with him. It's, you know, obviously very sad that he's not here with us for the, you know, last couple races of the season, but he was a very, really great teammate to have around here, and just a really great guy in the pit area.
This is my personal opinion, but I think he's the pulse of the paddock, and I think he still is. And the way that we're all talking about him right now, Barry didn't use this series as a platform or a stepping stone. Like, this is where he wanted to be. This is you know, kind of fitting that it's a final resting place, because he wanted to be here. And I really took that to heart, because, you know, it's like you're around all these young kids and you want them to have the brightest future as possible. And I knew he wanted that too, and he wanted to be around that, and I knew he loved being around Tristan for that reason. But Barry didn't look past this. Barry didn't look beyond Trans Am, and Barry didn't look beyond this TA2 program. And so if anybody watches this before the end of the season, then what I'm asking guys to think about, especially the young kids, is like, when you're in the car, when you're here for the weekend, like, don't look beyond this. Don't look beside it. Like, focus on this. And I guess what I think what I'm doing in paying respect to him is, like, doesn't matter what's happening next year. It's like, let's do this now, and let's focus on this, and I think that's the best way to pay tribute.
Yes. Hon, the weather tech's here.
WeatherTech is the ultimate protection for your vehicle. Laser measured floor liners, no drill mud flaps, cargo liner, bump step, seat protector, and cup phone.
What about my car?
WeatherTech.
Hawk Performance packs 100 years of friction dynamics into every product. Backed by Carlisle Brake and Friction, the world's premier innovator of industrial brake and friction components, Hawk leverages R&D tools and motorsports experience to deliver uncompromising performance on the street. There's no reason to settle for less. Choose pads that are race-proven and street-legal. Find the Hawk Performance brake dealer near you at hawkperformance.com.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance, priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
And we are back at the racetrack formerly known as Mosport, not Mossport. Many people thought it was Mossport because of turns 5A and B, named after the great Sterling Moss, who actually came over here and ran the first big international sports car race after the track opened, and got to talking to the people that ran the track back then and said that what was a hairpin back then at 5 and 5A, he said, you should make that two separate corners, a double apex deal. They did, named it the Moss Corners, and the track was actually known as Mosport because Mosport is short for motorsport. Now it's Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, CTMP, as you'll hear many people say, and it is ready to go racing once again with a long-standing tradition here, and that is Trans Am presented by Pirelli. It is the 12th race on the National Championship calendar. And let's take a look at the points coming into today's event here. Paul Menard in that Pittsburgh Paints and Stains Menard's Ford Mustang leads it over Adam Andretti, but not by a lot, just some 29 points. Adam is still very much in the hunt here. Tommy Dreese hanging on mathematically with a shot at this if things go really wrong for Paul Menard. Of course, Menard, the only driver in the field with a Trans Am victory here at CTMP. Let's fire up the engine. So here's Ben Cissell.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute honor to introduce Ron Fellows, Linda Fellows, co-owners of the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, one of my favorite events of the year. Also, I have to mention Ron Fellows, first ballot Trans Am Hall of Famer, initiated just this March at Sebring. That was really cool to see. Give a warm welcome to all the fans here, Ron.
Thank you all for coming out. You're about to see a great show. I used to do this stuff.
Yeah, not only did you used to do this stuff, you were Mr. Trans Am back in the day. And Linda, are you having fun?
Oh, always having fun. Love having all our fans out, and you're in for a really good show.
Nice. Well, to deliver the most famous words in motorsports, Fellows, take it away.
Drivers, start your engines!
What a great roar as these Trans Am engines come to life. Great to have Ron and Linda here with us. Of course, Ron, part of the ownership group here, Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, has been mentioned, an inaugural member of the Trans Am Hall of Fame earlier this year, a 20-time winner in the Trans Am Series. But ironically, no championships. Is so hard to believe. Many consider him kind of like a Dan Marino, the greatest Trans Am racer to never win the championship. His very first victory came here in 1989 at his home track while driving for the great Jack Roush, also Hall of Famer in that inaugural group. He had 3 victories in 93. And he was second in the points, was runner-up again in 94 with 4 wins, earned his 3rd consecutive second-place finish in the points in 95 with 5 victories and fell short again in 96 despite 4 wins. But he's a champion to all of us. Ron Fellows, great to have him here with us today. And they've done amazing things with Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, and much, much more in the plans. I was talking with Ron yesterday, and he was sharing some of the details of what's coming here in the future, and we're excited to say that as the 2026 calendar was revealed earlier this week, Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli will return in 2026 to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, and I know everybody in the series very happy about that. Trans Am first race here in 1970. It's been here some 31 times, and we look forward to many, many more in the future here at CTMP. Well, this racetrack, as we said earlier, kind of like a roller coaster up here in the Great White North. Lots of elevation, lots of undulations. Let's show you what the track map looks like. If you're not familiar with the layout here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, 2.4 miles long, but it sure feels longer than that. Here's a look. Even the front straightaway has an up and down to it as you cross the start-finish line, down into turn one, very fast, up and over the rise, sweeping down into two. Check your bravery there. Up through three, again down the hill into four. Hard on the brakes here at Moss Corner, 5 and 5A. Sweep through there. And now you are hard on it, accelerating up through the gears, through 6, 7. This is all part of the Andretti straightaway, which really has a curve in it. Then hard on the brakes and a great passing opportunity into the S's, and one more at the very slow turn 10 for your hard back into the throttle and racing up the front straightaway once again. That's a quick look at the layout here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Maybe not the greatest elevation change as you might see at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca coming down the corkscrew, but it is without a doubt a constant here for sure. You are always either going up or down. And one other similarity between those two racetracks, the Moss section of corners here is basically to Canada, and they're racing as the corkscrew is in North America. It's about that famous, probably the most famous section of turns here in Canada as the corkscrew is in America. There's a good look at some of the fans, and they are all around this facility this weekend. Labor Day weekend here in Canada, and they are out in big numbers. There you can see them lined all the way around the racetrack. This is one of the things Ron was telling me about yesterday, saying how much fans are craving more and more camping opportunities here at CTMP, and Track Ownership Group looking to provide that in the future. This is the Moss section right here. Campers all behind the camera. Very popular section because you see the drivers come storming up the hill and then have to get hard on the brakes. Good passing opportunity there as well, for they accelerate hard out of Moss and down the very long Andretti Straight, which is this section here, headed to the curve right in the middle, bit of a kink, named after the great Mario Andretti. And even here, up a hill and then back down as you get ready to get hard on the brakes here after the bridge, going into the S's. Play the aero game right through here. Great opportunity to make a pass. You can use the slipstream to your advantage. Here we go. Pace car. The C8 Corvette pace car is off. Menard and Dyson on the front row. Coming to the line, looking for the green. It'll be up to their left. Dyson with a little bit of an edge. Here comes Menard rolling up closer. There's the green, and we're underway. Chris Dyson with a great start. Had a bit of an edge rolling to the line, and he capitalizes on it. Dyson out front, Menard right behind him, and then it's Andretti. Those are the two title combatants right there, fighting over second now. Dreese behind them in fourth. Amy Ruman back here in fifth in her bright red Corvette. Then you see some of the TA2 cars. There's Adrian Vostovsky in the white and red. Vostovsky started 13th in that CMI Spot On Services machine. Ford Mustang. Peru Moss for the first time in speed. Now out onto the Andretti straight. See who's got the most horsepower here today. These big Trans Am machines producing 900 plus horsepower as they thunder through here at CTMP. And Ben Cissell joins us here in the booth. Nice job with the opening ceremonies there, Ben.
Well, thank you so much. Here we watch Adam Andretti come through the Andretti section, Ralph, but I am so excited to be here. But we've got some action up front.
We sure do, and a great battle as Menard has already closed up on the backside of Dyson and dragged Andretti right along with him, and Tommy Dreese. So we've got top four all fighting for the lead here. There's Tristan McKee back here in seventh overall with Tyler Gonzalez just in front of him.
Right on board with Tommy Dreese with Trent Shoring. Like I said, the fan walk did really well with Trent Shoring in the IROC race.
Yeah, I was out there and called that event, and it was tremendous to see Tommy really put it to those guys. It was such a stellar field of Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, Bobby Labonte, and Zach Brown, and so many others. And Tommy was without a doubt class of the field that day.
Now you're seeing Tyler Gonzalez keep up with Amy Ruman here. It takes about 2 or 3 laps for these Pirelli P0s to come to the right temperature of grip for these TA cars. It does not take that long for these Cube 3 Architecture TA2 P0 Pirelli tires to come to temperature. So that's why we're seeing them being able to keep up with Amy Ruman.
And then McKee right behind him right here in the white with the yellow and the black. And Ben, take note of this. Since Tyler Gonzalez led that first TA2 lap in his category, it breaks a streak of 95 straight laps led by an SLR car.
Wow, that's unbelievable. We haven't seen that in the Cube 3 TA2 series. But man, it's really heating up between Menard and Dyson up front.
Well, it's very important for Paul Menard with Adam Andretti still very much alive in this championship, just 29 markers down to him. If Menard can get around Dyson and check out and keep Adam stuck behind Chris, it's a huge advantage in the points.
Thomas Merrill around Julian DaCosta. Like I said, Julian DaCosta in a car that he's not used to. It's not his B car. It was just another car on the trailer, but he came out and qualified like in the top 4, which is unbelievable. He went off in his Camry and they weren't able to fix it. So he doesn't have a lot of seat time in that car.
Oh, Vostovsky looking inside of Buffamonte, didn't get it done just there and tucks in back behind him as you go on board here with Adrian.
This is a section of the track that's so scary right here. Very high speed and then down low speed.
Oh, you saw Buffamonte's car get way out of shape too.
Yeah, this part of the track is just made to just knock these cars off balance.
This is a racetrack, Ben, as I said at the beginning of the show, where you better pack your courage with you when you come to the track, because it is going to test you on literally almost every one of the 10 corners here. Turns 9 and 10, probably the only ones that don't challenge you at high speed. Everything else is way up there.
Yeah, very high-speed corners, and then that Moss section, as you were talking about, very technical because you got to get through that section carrying as much speed as you can because you got that long straightaway.
Yes.
So there's Tristan McKee, whose streak was just broken. That was a great fact to point out, Ralph.
And Tristan, he's an old guy now, Ben.
Yeah.
Turned 15 the other day.
Yeah.
He's ancient.
It's funny, though, with like Connor Zilic or Brent Cruz or Tristan McKee calling them Trans Am veterans, which they are at, teenagers.
Young teenagers, too. That's the scary thing.
So now we're with Roberto Sabato, who is his garage is right here, 6th gear. Great driver, great car. He's just right there behind Adrian Lostovsky. He'll do about 5-6 events a year with us, but always a great competitor, but just a great person to have in the paddock.
Look at his line through Moss. Nice and tidy.
Yeah, he knows this track real well.
Great exit out on Andretti here. Now, if he can play that aero game and reel in Adrian he might be in a much different position by the time we get to the other end of this section.
Yeah, he's a little bit too far back to really get sucked into a draft, but it's still helping him.
But boy, you can see on a little map off to the side of the screen here how long it takes you to get down that long back section of the racetrack, and then quickly through the S's and up onto the front stretch.
What a great start here for the TA class for the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series. We've got an XGT car out there, but you can see, just like last year, Paul Menard and Chris Dyson never got more than like 2 or 3 tenths away from each other, and that's kind of what we're seeing already.
But they're not shaking Adam Andretti, are they? And Adam, if you remember back to our last race, Ben, at Watkins Glen, he was right on Paul Menard going into that last lap and almost had a shot at the win there and led the majority of that day.
Yeah, he's very good. That car, they keep developing that car with Burton Racing. So we're seeing a lot. It takes a long time to develop these 900-plus horsepower behemoths with no driver aids. But I'm really seeing this season that car is really turning on, and Adam is very good behind the wheel.
And it's coming on at the right point of the year, right? Handful of races left to go. Adam's within striking distance in the points. And if he can use what they have found to his advantage, he might be able to get around Menard here and take over this points lead, which he held at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. He really wants a championship.
Oh, he's super hungry.
So Chris Dyson, there's our leader in that Jim Weed Dyson car. And look at this corner here. You can't really tell on video, but that is such an off-camber, long downhill. That can really throw you off balance.
And the G's going through there. Drivers will tell you this track, because it's so fast, will really test your strength and stamina within the car because your body is always under heavy G load.
Yeah, you can see it there. And this is a long 100-mile race. Unfortunately, I don't know how many kilometers that is. I should have known that coming in for our Canadian fans.
There's Tommy Dreese's trench shoring Motul back machine. And if we were to do a poll of the top 5 most beautiful cars ever to race in Trans Am, that's in my top 5, I think.
Yeah, that's a great looking car. Really is. Look at this, the battle up front. And I was saying this at the opening ceremony. So just be able to say the name like Dyson, Menard, and Andretti, and then all 3 of them out there racing. Then you've got Dreese and Ruman as well in this 5-car TA field. That's really cool. And then having Ron Fellows there at the opening ceremony is one of my heroes.
Yeah.
It's such a cool weekend. And then you can see as we're driving around just all the fans, all the campers. So cool to see. And great to have Amy Ruman back in her car after such a shunt at Watkins Glen, and they've been working basically, I was talking to Bob Ruman, until like a day before they loaded, getting that car back up.
Yeah, when Amy left Watkins Glen, as we see Gonzalez on pit road, and that is certainly an unscheduled pit stop.
He was leading the Q3 TA2 Series. It's not the other side. He's obviously feeling something, but they can't figure out what it is.
Front suspension, maybe.
Oh, and here comes Scheibel as well. Brian Scheibel out of Georgetown, Texas with MBS Racing. I didn't get to talk to him in the opening ceremonies, and I regret that because he has some really cool stories to tell us.
Adrian Vostovsky's slowing.
Yeah.
Not sure if there was something on the track. They all ran through it.
I'm not sure.
Or what, but they were all kind of in the same.
I'm hearing inside right front tire on Gonzalez's car. Looks like that might be the case here with Adrian, too, looking at this hood.
Kind of leaning over a little bit, isn't it?
Well, I feel bad because I might have jinxed him.
And there's Chris Dyson.
Something's on track.
What is going on?
Something's got to be on track. Somebody threw a box of nails or tacks out there or something.
Shocking developments early on in this one as we are just 7 laps in, Ben.
Yeah, and this isn't a track that you would lose tires on like you might with like an oval or something. You can see Chris's body language. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. He can't go a lap down, that's for sure. But if there's something on track, Andretti or Menard might hit it as well. But that's got to be heartbreaking for Gonzalez and Dyson to be leading their classes and have to come in.
There's Paul Menard.
So we've got a slow vehicle flag.
Andretti.
You see him holding the white flag, which means a slow vehicle. That might be for Lastovsky.
Yeah, I would think so.
That is just heartbreaking, though. Paul Menard's back up to speed, but I don't see Andretti.
Yeah, what happened to Adam?
So here comes Lostowski into the pits. Well, this is going to shake everything up. Now, Scheibel came back through, so he might have had to do a drive-through penalty.
There's Adrian down there.
There's Adam.
There's Adam, yep. He's surprised that he has fallen that far back.
But he might have gotten behind one of these slower cars at the wrong time.
Yeah. Dyson returning to the fray.
Well, I'm hoping that Dyson is on the lead lap because it's early enough that he might be able to make this up. Well, there goes Menard. He isn't anymore.
Not anymore. Now, what does Menard do here? Does he
does he
hustle to keep Dyson behind him? Or does he allow Chris to get back around and then just tucks him behind him? And
well, if Dyson is faster, I'm guessing Menard would let him by. But it doesn't look like Dyson's getting him. It's going to take a while for that tire to catch back up to temperature. And with Andretti being back there, Menard knows how to win championships. He's very always calm, cool. There isn't a big ego in Paul Menard. So if Chris Dyson was faster, if he saw him coming up in his mirror, I think he'd let him go.
Yeah, it would be the smarter play at that point, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. But also, cautions can change things.
Good look at that new livery on Adam's car. New sponsors and service partners as Claudio Burton has partnered up with them with his Top Liner brand, and
I want to talk about
expanding his business out.
The Top Liner Top Driver Award. If you go to any of the Andretti karting centers in Atlanta starting November 5th, you can sign up for this. They're going to have a big kind of contest.
That's one way of doing it, but you can also sign up through social media.
Yeah, exactly. You sign up through the socials, through Andretti socials, through Trans Am, through Burton Racing.
Yep.
But look out for this, November 5th, and then at Buford, December 7th, they're going to have the championship, and the fastest gets an all-expenses paid trip to our season opener at Sebring.
Yeah, so all those people that register online they're going to do a drawing out of there, pick the 7 that go to the runoff there, and have a battle at the karting facility and join all of us down at Sebring.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. You can see everybody's looking at the right front tire.
I think you and I ought to just show up at one of the facilities and go wheel to wheel with Adam.
Yeah, I mean, he could lap me at least 6 times.
Right.
Yeah, there is something happening on the track.
Well, I'd like to see what we're finding with the tires. Maybe, Pirelli engineers are...
Yeah, I'm going to step away real quick because race control's right there and see if I can hear anything from Tim.
Meanwhile, we can rejoin the action with 31 laps remaining here. The first all-classes race 2025. Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. And the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series presented by Pirelli. There's Menard out front. 5 seconds basically in front of Adam Andretti. There's Tommy Dreese. Dreese running in third now. Amy Ruman is in fourth. Tristan McKee now leading in the TA2 category and fifth overall. With Sam Corey and Thomas Merrill second and third in category.
So, Ralph, the information I'm getting from race control is not anything on the track. They're just hitting the curbs too hard.
Oh, boy.
And that could be the case. And we did not see that last year. So I don't know if they put in new curbing somewhere, but that's what everybody from CTMP, that's what everybody in race control is saying so far.
Well, you can hit the curbing here in 9 and 10, and certainly at Moss.
But that's not just a tire change for Lostowski there. It's taken quite a while. They're doing something in the suspension.
We've run through TA and TA2. Roberto Sabato leads TA2 Pro-Am with Jared Audrick right behind him. They run 10th and 11th overall in first and second in category. James Beaton is leading XGT 12th overall.
And he'll be moving up through the field. He's a very fast driver here. And Paul Menard just got his best time on the last lap with a 1:17.3.
Dyson showing all the way back in 17th. And Dyson just ran a 1:16.728. That's quick.
Yeah, he's going to try to catch Paul.
Pole winner here.
What needs to happen for Dyson is for him to get past Paul Menard and then a caution, a full course caution. And right now, Menard is hitting slower traffic at a section he doesn't want to.
Yeah, Jim Gallagher there.
That's going to put Dyson right behind him going into 1. Ralph, this race has had already a little bit of everything with just a few laps.
Bunch of plot twists already, right?
So
Adrian Vostovsky is back out on course.
Behind Beaton. This is his home track. He's got a ton of laps here. He went to racing school here in the mid-'80s and really knows this track very, very well in that XGT Corvette. This track it's such a great track, such a great facility, but it is built to beat up race cars and driver spirits.
Yeah.
You can see he's at 145. Now Adam Andretti trying to get around Jim Gallagher.
If you just looked at the basic drawing of the track design, you might not think it doesn't look all that interesting, right? But when you get here and you get in a car and you roll around it, even at a slow speed, boy, it gets your attention in a hurry.
Yeah. What I'm thinking is happening here, it looks like Dyson's a little bit faster, but just a little bit faster than Menard. But I think the 3GT team with the Pittsburgh Paints and Stains is telling them, try not to let him by, because just like I said, if there is a caution,
he comes all the way
can come back through.
Then it's going to get real interesting.
Mm-hmm. And Adam Andretti, seeing what's happening with everybody else, he may be kind of just taking it easy.
He gained a couple of tenths here that last lap. He's working traffic pretty hard. Look how aggressive he makes that pass on the outside there. It's a very fast section of racetrack.
Yeah, around Tom Sheehan, who was here just a couple weeks ago with Blaze Chitta, with Jared Odrick. They were both testing here, trying to get as many laps as they could, trying to learn some things. And they're fighting together in the Pro-Am, as is Doug Winston, who Adam Andretti's behind right now.
See how Adam handles this. He'll probably just wait and get him on the Andretti straight. As Adam wheels to the outside, which quickly becomes the inside at the bend here. Adam now gets around Gallagher and takes off. And we will take a quick break here. Step away just for a moment, but we will be right back for more live coverage here on Speed Sport 1, the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli from Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Stay with us.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's Beaton, our home track person in XGT, the number 82, into the wall there. I can't really see where that is. And it doesn't look like he hit it too hard from this angle. I can't tell if that's his front suspension bent or if he's got the steering wheel input like that. He's fired back up. He's trying to get it into reverse, but I don't see a huge dent in the tire wall yet. But it looks like he threw some grass around. End of turn 2. That's James Beaton out of Ontario, Canada. Looks like he's back up and going, so he might have saved it from hitting the wall too hard. We'll see if he has to come into pit lane, doing a little off-roading. Now his tires are really dirty. Tyler Gonzalez back on the course, currently in 18th. He was leading in the TA2, the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series. Had to come in with a tire change. And talking to race control, we think those tire changes and were just from hopping the curves, just beating up the sidewalls of these tires a little bit too much. So Tristan McKee just behind Amy Ruman here, with Sam Corey right behind, followed by Thomas Merrill, Julian DaCosta, and Gian Buffamonte. Sabato leading in Pro-Am over Jared Odrick and Keith Prochuk, and then Dyson now at overall 13th.
Well, there's Beaton right there as we come back to the action live here on Speed Sport 1. But Ben, he wasn't rolling just moments ago.
Yeah, he hit the wall there on the on turn 2, and just barely looks like it. Didn't look like it caused any damage, and he's out there, didn't come into pit lane, so that means everything is good. He saved it, and that might be somebody that knows the track well enough to know exactly how to do it when you're running in the grass to stay off the wall.
Yeah, Tim Ritchie had the pace car ready to roll, but gave him time to see if he could get him going, and he did, and we stayed green.
Yeah, we love that. We had a great race here last year, and so far these fans, 30 or 40,000 fans, are seeing a great Trans Am race again. And Ralph, these fans love their motorsports because I'm sure you walking around, people are probably getting selfies. I'm seeing you talking to everybody. If I'm out there in what I call my Trans Am costume, people will stop me and talk. They watch the live stream, so it's really cool to see that it's not just this event. They are tuning in week after week to watch Trans Am.
No, there's a rich history of Trans Am and Canada together. As you said, first race here at what was then known as Mosport back in 1970. So right in the heyday, Ben, of what Trans Am was.
Yeah. And this is the fight right here for Pro-Am. That's Sabato there in the white and yellow Mustang with Jared Odrick in that Camaro right behind him with Paul Menard splitting them right now. So Jared's not going to like that. But now Paul Menard's going to try to get ahead of Sabato. But that's the battle right there in our Pro-Am class. That's how close it is for 1 and 2 through all of these.
And this is one of the things that the TA guys were talking about is as they catch the TA2 field, are they going to be seeing them coming up as fast as they are with the difference in speed?
I would say no. I talked to as many of the TA drivers as I could and just said, hey, remember, TA2 drivers are not used to looking in their mirrors because they're not used to running mixed class racing, where Chris Dyson made a career out of it.
Yeah. Sure has.
So here's Dyson now behind Odrick. Odrick getting over for him.
And the traffic that was helping Adam Andretti a while ago has hurt him now as he has lost a couple of seconds to Menard. He's 8.5 seconds back now in second place.
I've been noticing the flaggers here, and I noticed this last year. We have some terrific flaggers here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. You see the blue flag there?
Yep.
They're displaying the blue flags when they need to be. I love that. I love seeing that.
Especially in a mixed class race like this, you really have to rely on the flaggers to help you as you're the faster car coming through.
So Paul Menard just did a 1:18.261 driving through that traffic. But Adam Andretti in second did a 1:18.9. So they're going to have to get through this traffic, and the track isn't long enough to where there's going to be sections of traffic, and there isn't. Now the rest of the race, if it stays like this and stays green, they're going to be in traffic.
Yeah. This track is very deceiving. It's 2.4 miles in length, but it feels like a Road America in its length. It seems much, much longer, or like a Watkins Glen.
There's so much input you're putting in each lap, it probably feels like a longer lap.
On board with Tommy Dreese's trench shoring Motul entry, down through turn 1. See the different colors in the asphalt through there. You can go pretty wide coming off of turn 1, but you got to be careful because that wall is right there. You go just a hair too far.
And then this off-camber downhill sweeping left. It's a really neat layout for this track. Very difficult track. And I wouldn't call it a technical or difficult track. It's a track that just requires a ton of courage.
A ton of courage, a lot of focus. You're going to be as physically and mentally worn out in either category when you complete the day here because you're taxing yourself both mentally and physically all afternoon long here.
Yeah, now back on the power. Let's see if we can stay on this. He's at 115. I want to say they're probably hitting 160, 170 there.
Yeah, problems again for Scheibel. Here's Sabato, headed to 1.
Currently our Pro-Am leader. I think, is that Andretti ahead of him? Looks like it. Now, Sabato, this being his home track, with being such a technical, courageous track, that gives you a huge advantage. Anytime you have more seat time at a track than your other competitors, that's a big advantage. So look for him to really try to hold on to that Pro-Am lead. He's a very good driver. Here's our leaders in the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 with Tristan McKee and Sam Corey right there behind Amy Ruman, who's currently 4th in TA.
That she is. And like you, Ben, I was stunned to see that car here. Great to see her and that team recover to get her ready to come racing once again. Because when they left Watkins Glen, she was telling me she really didn't think she was going to be here.
Yeah, and they had not only did they have to do a lot of work, but unfortunately they had a very close family member pass away in the time too, and they had to deal with that. So hats off to them. I'm so sorry about that, Bob. But love seeing you guys out here as Jim Gallagher gets over for Tyler Gonzalez there.
Gonzalez right now sitting in 17th.
But for a while, he was the class of the field in TA2. One of our Toyota development drivers is Tyler Gonzalez. He competed here last year. Jim Gallagher with the regulator, number 6. It's funny that we call this the back straightaway, but it is not straight.
There's nothing much really straight about it, is there?
You're still doing input. It's still rough. And it will kind of force you to the to the driver's left after a while without you noticing.
Yep. All of a sudden you're riding right along the edge of the grass.
So here we go. So here's Paul Menard on the 2 leaders in the Cube 3 Architecture TA2. Tristan McKee and Sam Corey. Sam Corey has never raced here. He's done it on the sim, but he said, hey, I'd never raced at Lime Rock, and I won that. So maybe that's
right.
So he's not giving up on us.
Hey, you don't know what you don't know. And I'll tell you what, right through here, that entrance into the S is very bumpy through there.
And that will really throw you mentally and physically.
And that's one of those sections, too, where they're getting up on the curbing, too, Ben. So that might be one of those spots where they're hitting it just a little bit too hard.
I saw Tristan do like a little quick left to right there on the front straight. Wonder if he's trying to get something off his tires. This part just scares me. This kind of off-camber.
It should. Because there's a lot of asphalt laid down over there to give you room to gather it back up if you go a little too wide. But if not, there's a very hard concrete wall there.
So Amy Ruman might go a lap down here with Paul Menard. That car just looks hooked up, that 3GT Pittsburgh Paints and Stains car.
Oh, yeah, he is right there on the backside of that red Corvette.
And then there's Dyson right behind Sam Corey. So this is crazy throughout all 3 classes, actually 4 classes with our Pro-Am.
It's one section that's tough to catch Amy on, is a long straightaway like this. She gets that Corvette up and running. She can leg it down that straightaway. That Mustang a little bit more developed for the tight, twisty stuff. And that's where Paul's going to have the advantage heading here going into 1.
Yeah, I'm talking to Amy. It was funny. I was talking to Ron Fellows and Amy, and both of them, one of their favorite Trans Am races was here at CTMP with Ron Fellows and Amy Ruman. And I guess Ron had cut a tire and was trying to limp it to the finish line, and Amy was coming right behind. I don't know who won that race, but both of them said that was one of their favorite races of all time.
Huh.
So now Chris Dyson coming up on Amy. Dyson, this is for position on Amy.
He's worked his way up to 5th. So Dyson is still charging. No surprise there.
Yeah, there's no quit in the Dyson team.
No.
And you can see right behind them is still Tristan McKee and Sam Corey in the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series.
Yeah, they run 6th and 7th overall, 1 and 2 in class.
And they're
Thomas Merrill right there with them as well in 3rd.
They're 1 and 3 in the championship.
Yep.
In points.
175 miles an hour, Ben, before they jumped on the brakes.
That's so scary. I was giving Adam a hard time. I'm like, you've got to be really good through the Andretti section. And Mario watches all of our races. He was saying there's extra pressure because he gets calls sometimes from his uncle saying, hey, what's going on here? Or nice job. But he's got to hit those. You know, we've also got the Andretti turn at Laguna Seca he's got to do really well at. It's a lot of pressure.
Too. Yeah. The Andretti hairpin.
Okay, here comes Tristan McKee and Sam Corey right behind Amy Ruman. And this is going to be crazy because Amy Ruman's car is faster in some sections, but maybe not as nimble in others. So you got to watch out for that, Tristan.
Well,
Tristan
the aero development on that C7 has not kept up with the aero development on that Ford Mustang of Menard, for example, or Dyson. Or
I'm just happy to see Amy here. Like I said, I thought maybe she would be renting Tommy Dreese's car again. And how cool is it that really hard-nosed competitors like Dreese and Amy, but they also want each other to be on track. You know, so they're going to do whatever they can to help each other out.
Amy is a very tough competitor and a great addition to the field. Fan favorite, for sure. They always bring a great prepared race car. Looks fantastic, sounds fantastic. Love hearing that Corvette just thundering around here.
And talking about development and the aero, man, the Burton team and Top Liner, they have really put some development into this, and I'm seeing it getting faster and faster each weekend.
Yeah. Adam is definitely up on the wheel, and he is as hungry as I've ever seen him.
Okay, so that made Sam Corey fall back a little bit there from Tristan. Tristan was able to kind of use Amy as a little bit of a gap pick.
Corey coming around the inside here. They get up into Moss.
That was a great pass, but that would only happen from the heads up from Amy Ruman there.
Yeah.
Now she's got Andretti behind her.
Here comes Moss here at the top of the hill. Adam will wait till he get out on the straightaway and try to make the pass there.
Just got word from Kelly that Brian Scheibel is out of the race with a rear end. So that he retires at number 53. That's unfortunate.
Adam trying to work the aero to his advantage. Can he get inside? He's right there on Amy. What can he do by the S's? Not going to happen. Amy closes the door back up on him. He's not done yet. He's going to try to have the inside here at 10. That's a great pass.
Wow.
He just stayed with it and just kept staying with it, Ben, and worked it and got it done.
Well, he is a top liner, top driver today. That's unbelievable.
If he hadn't done that there, it would have taken him basically a whole nother lap to set that up again.
Yep. And so now let's see if Sam Corey can close that gap on Tristan. Now these Cube 3 Architecture TA2 drivers are not used to this kind of these picks that are going to be set by the TA or the XGT cars. They're not used to this mixed class racing, so they're learning some new skills today that may not be there. Like Tristan McKee, like you said, the last 3 races is not used to seeing cars ahead of him. And it's happening several times here today.
Nobody's been filling up McKee's mirrors, that's for sure.
Look at
not in recent weeks.
Yeah, Gian Buffamonte here. Doing very, very well. Doing well in the points. His dad would have raced here in Trans Am.
And Gian Buffamonte there has been busy doing other things as well before he came here.
Little Ricky Bobby truck racing.
Got
I love it.
Truck racing in, yeah.
Yeah.
Great to see our competitors out venturing off, trying other things. Saw quite a few guys doing different things here recently.
Now look at Julian DaCosta in a car, like I said, he's not super used to, right behind Thomas Merrill, one of our Cube 3 Architecture TA2 champions of 2022. Maybe doing the smart thing of just trying to stay behind Thomas and learning.
That's for 8th, too, in class, and 3rd in category.
Yep.
8th overall, 3rd in class. And stuck right in the thick of traffic is Menard and Dyson.
This might get a little dicey here. You've got Gonzalez staying behind Winston to let the 2 faster drivers through. Getting some blue flags here. We appreciate that from the flaggers. And I don't know if Dyson's close enough to make any kind of move at 8.
He's thinking about it, isn't he?
He is.
That Jim Weed machine, a real rocket for sure.
we're at 15 laps remaining, so it's starting to come to a close for Dyson.
Going fast, isn't it? Such a quick circuit.
Yeah, it really, really is. The top average speed here in our formula classes have been some of the fastest they see all year.
Yeah.
Look at that shot. That's a great shot. Get some great shots from Joel and his team and the camera crew. We really appreciate that. Love coming here. Lots of great fans around the track. We love it.
Yeah, they know this place inside and out, and they do a great job covering it.
Now, Dyson, I think he's just like, you know what, forget what happened. I didn't come into the pit lane. This is the race for the lead. I think that's kind of how he's approaching it.
Yeah, it's a real shame that he had the problems that he did. He's had that kind of year. Obviously, the big hit at Sebring, and then he bounces back from that. Then another big hit at Lime Rock. Just when it looked like things are starting to roll for him again. Chris has just had a very challenging year mentally.
Yeah.
You know, it's taken a beating on him physically, but mentally, the up and down of it has got to have gotten to him.
And like I said, his dad, Rob Dyson, who's usually here, is the Grand Marshal at the VSCCA Lime Rock Historics. And a lot of those drivers are coming next weekend to join us at Watkins Glen.
Looking forward to that.
Adam Andretti's car just looks fast, doesn't it?
Looks mean, too. All kinds of bulges on the bodywork on that thing. Great looking race car. Don't forget to go to the Andretti karting centers and all the different social media ways that you can reach Adam and the Burton team and sign up for that new contest. See if you can get yourself invited to the Andretti karting facility in Georgia. What is it, November or December?
It's November 5th, and then the thing is December 7th in Buford, Georgia at the karting center.
There it is.
December 7th.
Yeah.
And Adam, if you buy us Chick-fil-A, Ralph and I will come and announce it.
Yeah. We want the large size, though.
Yeah. Okay, so there's Merrill.
Not that.
Merrill, DaCosta, and Buffamonte, who are...
Oh, look at this. DaCosta getting around the outside here. Merrill.
Something's wrong with Merrill.
Yeah, Merrill having problems. Slowed dramatically. Wonder if he's been beating up those curbs.
I don't know. That looked more like a suspension thing. So now DaCosta moves up. So he is third overall in the Cube 3 architecture in his class, not overall, sorry.
He is. He is ninth overall, third in TA2.
Okay, Merrill off track.
There he is.
Hopefully a safe place. We appreciate that. Again, some just great shots from the camera operators. Heads up, but he's got
all kinds of stuff going on there.
That's smoke. That's tire smoke. See that? He's going to have to get out of the car.
That is certainly not a suspension issue there.
No. It doesn't look like he's in a hurry to get out of the car, but he's getting out of the car.
Yeah.
Thomas Merrill.
He's just billowing smoke out. That's an engine on fire, so that looks like.
Our 2022 champion. Ross, if you're watching, Thomas looks to be out safely. Oh, and now he's going to try to fix the car. That's not allowed.
And we got the full course caution now.
Look at this, though. Thomas is one of those drivers. We've seen this with Shane Lewis back in the day. He got out of the car, fixed the throttle linkage, and looks like he's going to try to give some kind of an assessment.
And he's trying to figure out where he's got to spray it to get the fire put out.
So a championship-winning driver, second at Le Mans a few years ago, and now he's having to put out a fire in his own engine on track. That's a first for me, Ralph. Haven't seen that in TA2 yet.
No.
And he's just making sure it's all out.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering, the flag officials are not allowed to go over the wall. They're allowed to give drivers fire extinguishers and things like that. If you're wondering why aren't more people over there, it's not until the people in these safety vehicles that can help them out.
You got to keep them safe, too. Well, with the full course caution, we will take a break here. Step away, and we'll be back. Only 11 laps remaining here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, live on Speed Sport 1.
good is this? Look at this view from Lostowski.
It brings all my fans.
All right, you can see Thomas has taken his helmet off, his balaclava. They've gotten the fire extinguished here. We appreciate those Roy Nichols Chevrolet trucks with our safety crews, and we go back on board with Chris Dyson. The Chris Dyson's wishing he could have gotten around Paul Menard and would have had maybe 8 laps to maybe try to get back up to him, but unfortunately wasn't able to get around Menard. Now he's going to have to do a restart from behind him. So Chris Dyson, although he's right behind the leader, Paul Menard, is 1 lap down. What we think in talking to race control is we think a lot of the drivers were being overly aggressive early in the race on some of the curbing, and that was hurting their left rears or their right fronts. Pace car is not yet out there, so they're just running what's called a code 60. They have a little box on their dashboards that shows purple, and they need to maintain about a 60-mile-an-hour speed until the pace car comes out. A great Canadian Tire bridge here. Look at all these fans to the left and to the right. We think there's somewhere between 30 and 40,000 fans that come out here for these Labor Day sprint race weekends. Love coming to this track. Co-owned by Ron Fellows, a Trans Am legend. He was just inducted into the Trans Am Hall of Fame in March at Sebring. So great to have he and Linda come out, and just they have so many friends still in the Trans Am paddock. It's such a family here. So they come back here, and some of Ron's old crew members are here. Actually, the crew member that helped him win Le Mans and win a championship in IMSA in the Corvette is here running one of the Formula groups with us. So once you're in racing, it is just a big family. And a lot of these campers, I've been talking to a lot of the spectators, a lot of the campers you see, they've had these spots reserved for 30, 40 years. They're third generation race fans that have been coming to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Adam Andretti now. They have to maintain this speed until the pace car comes out, which has got to... Well, welcome back to Speed Sport 1. We've got quite a race here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park with the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. We've got TA, we've got the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series, we've got the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series Pro-Am XGT, a little bit of everything. You're looking here at the top liner. Service partners car of Adam Andretti, who is currently running in second place in TA, fighting for a championship. Then we've got Roberto Sabato, followed by Jared Odrick. They're 1 and 2 in the Pro-Am. Jared came into this race second in points in Pro-Am, hoping to improve that. Adrian Lostowski, who is a lap down, had to come in. Then Keith Prochuk right behind them. So it's 1, 2. Then there's Adrian Lostowski. Then there's Keith Prochuk. That's our top 3 in Pro-Am, so that's going to get heated up. Then they're behind Tommy Dreesy with the Trent Shoring car. So we've got a great battle for P1 in TA, a great battle for 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series, 1, 2, 3 in Pro-Am. Yeah, we had a chance to talk to our president, Andy Lally, talking about the TA cars running concurrently. Let's check that out.
The first time this year that we're combining classes on a national level, and so that presents potential issues for TA2 drivers that are not used to looking in their mirror for a really fast XGT or TA car coming through. So in those situations, you could easily have 4 or 5 TA2 cars nose to tail, not expectant one another to make any particular grounds like up the straightaway in the 9, in the 1, in the 2. It's easy to get surprised. As we always have tight pack racing here, when you have a TA car trying to thread the needle getting through on a track that is this fast, that's a potential recipe for contact. And CTMP has done a great job of extending the depth of their tire walls and whatnot, but we still don't want to test that out. They've added extra pavement to slow the cars down as they're sliding. We still don't want to test all those theories out here. So our biggest challenge is our drivers being able to have communication with their crew chiefs and have their communication with their drivers to give them a heads up of, hey, somewhere in the next half a lap, you're going to have a couple of TA cars flying through that group that you're in. So that's really, again, you have to take an extra bit of portion of your bandwidth and take it away from driving the perfect lap to making sure you're fully aware of something that might be coming that would never be coming in that specific spot from a competitor in a similar car.
Back here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, and we are still behind the C8 Corvette pace car. Ralph Sheheen and Ben Cissell with you as you're watching live here on Speed Sport 1. You know, Ben, I really enjoyed working with you this year, so what do you say we do as the kids say these days? Let's run it back next year.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
All right.
We've got a great schedule that just came out for next year.
We sure do. The 60th anniversary season of Trans Am presented by Pirelli next year. Of course, we're going to have practice, season warm-up at Sebring, and then, as is tradition, we will kick the racing season off. It's Sebring International Raceway, the last weekend of February, also the first day of March, February 26th through March 1st. Then we go to Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta, March 12th through the 15th. How about this, Ben? A doubleheader in the wine country. That's going to be wild, April 23rd through the 26th.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. Sonoma's always really fun to go to.
And a doubleheader.
Yeah.
That's going to be really interesting out there. From Sonoma all the way to the East Coast, we will be at Lime Rock Park May 21st through the 23rd. Check those dates, because I'm telling you the 23rd is a Saturday.
It is, yeah. Yeah, we're doing a
Not
Thursday,
a
Friday, Saturday
Not
event
a Monday.
at Lime Rock.
You know what that means, right? We're all headed to Indy, baby.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Oh, I did right away, going to the 500. And then, speaking of Indy, we will be there with Trans Am in 2026, June 18th through the 21st at the famed Brickyard. Can't wait for that one.
That's going to be a great one.
June 25th through the 28th, a traditional date at Road America. Always great. I know you want ice cream. And another doubleheader on the calendar at Watkins Glen, July 16th through the 19th.
That's two doubleheaders of some tracks that are notoriously tearing up cars.
Yes, very challenging. Then we come right back here, Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, September 3rd through the 6th, another traditional date. VIR is back on the calendar, Virginia International Raceway, September 17th through the 20th. And just like this year, we will close things out at Circuit of the Americas, November 5th through the 8th at COTA. That's going to be fantastic. Now, if you're a fan of the Western Championship, they will be with us for the doubleheader at Sonoma. They will also have a doubleheader at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, October 2nd through the 4th. And they will finish out their year at COTA as well, November 5th through the 8th. What jumps out at you? What's the highlight of the schedule for you, the 60th anniversary?
Well, first of all, there isn't a stinker in the bunch.
Nope.
Like, all of these are very iconic road racing circuits. But going back to Indy with Trans Am is always fun. The Lime Rock Park, I always look forward to that. But the doubleheader at Sonoma, that's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, I like that.
Jim Gallagher in. And what they're doing here, this might look a little bit weird. The pace car, we talked about this at the drivers' meeting. So the pace car was to pick up the TA2 cars, and then eventually the TA cars are going to make their way back up to the front in the order that they're supposed to be in. But that was Tim Richter's call to make sure that we did this in the safest way possible. And like I said, the TA2 cars are not used to running in this mixed class racing. So it looks like Paul Menard now is going to start making a pass to drivers right, and they're going to fall in order. So Paul Menard, Adam Andretti, Tommy Dreese, that's your top three in TA, followed by Chris Dyson and Amy Ruman. Then we've got Tristan McKee, Sam Corey, Julian DaCosta, Gian Buffamonte. That's our top 4 in Cube 3 Architecture TA2. Then in Pro-Am, we've got Roberto Sabato, Jared Odrick, Keith Prochuk. Right there, 1, 2, and 3 right on track. So this is going to be a crazy, maybe last 7, 8 laps left in this race, Ralph.
Yeah, they are running, 10th, 11th, and 12th overall, but 1, 2, and 3. And then an XGT, James Beaton, still out there.
Yeah, he's out there. Great for him, staying off the tire wall. And I'm hearing that when they get through the Andretti section of this track, the lights are going to go out. This is where you can see Adam Andretti getting by Dyson. Should be getting by Dreesy, getting back up to second. This might work out perfectly for Adam Andretti, who is pretty good at the restarts. So is Paul Menard, though.
Should have, 6 laps to go?
You can see Tommy Dreesy just trying to get some heat in the tires. Tommy Dreesy, as you know, doesn't like to sit still. He's kind of like a shark.
Oh, no, yeah, he's moving all the time.
He's got to be doing something. Tristan McKee doing very well in the championship. He's won the last, 3 in a row?
Yeah.
So here they come. Let's see what Paul Menard does here. Any kind of strategy for this restart.
Adam closing right up as they head into the S's here. Can Adam do something spectacular on the outside of turn number 1?
I don't know.
Look, he is right up underneath. There they go. Rolling out onto the front straightaway. Oh, he slows them down. And Dreesy comes flying up on the outside, and he goes by. And Dyson goes past both of them. Oh, that really shook things up. Menard was so worried about Adam Andretti, he forgot about everybody else. Yeah. And it cost him huge.
And now Dyson is on the lead lap for about 2 seconds when he crosses the start-finish line.
Yeah.
You know, and then so he's hoping for another caution because this could come back to him now.
And Dreesy should be listed as the race leader. Now you got to wonder if that's all going to stand.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There's these cones, these start zones that we have for Trans Am. I'm not hearing anything from Ernie Becker on the radio that said it was a bad.
Ooh, look at them both go bouncing over the curbs, and that's where you can really do that damage to the suspension. Dyson is checking out. Menard's going to try to find a way around Dreesy, and Adam's trying to hang on to the back of the Mustang.
Well, I'm hearing from Misty, who's kind of being a producer for us this weekend, that the 8 and 16, they're not allowed to pass until the start-finish line, and they did. So now the number 8 and the number 16 are going to have to come through for a drive-through penalty. So, Adam Andretti, don't worry. You're not in a battle with Tommy Dreesy right now. It's all Paul Menard. So
boy.
The 8's going to have to come in.
Boy, is Menard getting lucky on that play, right?
Well, it's not lucky if the other drivers don't follow the rules.
No, but it had to been just a couple more feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it would really have been a problem for him.
And I have to think that Tommy's thinking. I bet you Tommy was calculating that, like it might happen for me or not. But that was his chance.
Well, it was also a situation where Paul slowed them all down so much, and they were all ready to go that there was a bit of an accordion effect there. And I'm betting in some ways, Tommy would tell you he was trying to avoid running into him.
Yeah. So both the Chris Dyson car and the Tommy Dreesy car are going to have to come in for a drive-through penalty. Here's our M-code, Ralph.
M-code gears, total laps led. Paul Menard, 30 out front. He's got 5 left to go here. There he is, Pittsburgh Paint and Stains. Number 31 for the weekend.
So we should see Amy Ruman on the podium here at CTMP.
How great is that going to be for her? After everything that team has been through. And our championship is sticking right there because even with Adam not finishing in front of Paul, he is minimizing the damage for sure and is very much going to keep this alive headed on to our next race.
Yeah, but I'm not counting Adam and Andretti out of this race just yet. Now there's Sabato. Jared Odrick and Keith Prochuk should be right behind him. Oh, no. Here comes Beaton.
Oh, Beaton having problems in the Corvette.
Off the beaten path.
You see what you did there.
So here is our TA 1 and 2 right here. Adam Andretti right behind Menard. Unfortunate for Beaton. Not sure what's happened there. But Adam Andretti looked to get a little bit better off of, what is that, turn 7 there? What they call 7, that little kink right there. So
looking under the rear end of the car here. Beaton.
I know this just hurts your heart to see a Corvette come in like that.
Struggling like that?
Yeah.
I mean, we shouldn't even be showing that.
But Beaton will still be on the podium with us in Extreme GT. There is Sheheen. So we've got Gallagher, Sheheen, and Doug Winston also in the Pro-Am.
Yeah, that was 14th, 15th, and 16th overall.
Doug Winston is trying desperately to get his teammate Adrian Lostowski to give up a bad habit that Adrian has and threatened that he would beat him up if he saw him doing it again. So they had a little wrestle match this weekend.
That habit would be?
I can't say the habit, but it's not a good habit.
All right.
So here we go. Paul Menard and Adam Andretti. Look at the speed of these two cars. Ford versus Chevy.
I'll tell you what, Adam looks really good through here at Moss. He was very good through there.
Come on.
Can he make something happen here?
Let's see if he can make a pass at Andretti.
Boy, this could be something right here. He really got through Moss very well. Has a lot of good aero working on that Burton Camaro now, and he's coming after the Mustang. And remember, he made a pass earlier through the S's here on the outside. Can you do it again? Not quite close enough this time.
It is very difficult to rattle Paul Menard.
They're going to have 2 laps remaining here. This is exactly what took place at Watkins Glen. Oh, and Dreesy serving that drive-through penalty, I'm assuming now. Yeah, just idling through.
That's got to be so difficult to stay at 40 miles an hour when you were in the thick of it. But you got to follow the rules. So now the gap. This is where he got him, though. This is where Adam closed the gap last time.
It's over at Moss.
Two laps remaining. There's Dyson.
Who also had a drive-through.
I'd like to see what's happening in the Cube 3 TA2 Series, because that's heating up too with Tristan McKee and Sam Corey.
Top 2 here coming to the white flag with 1 to go.
That car just looks so good, that Pittsburgh Paint and Stains 3 GT car.
It really does.
Bo and Remy, I hope you're watching your dad. Could be 2 in a row for Paul Menard here at CTMP, Ralph.
Yeah, the only driver in the field to have won here in a Trans Am race. Looking to make it back-to-back years.
There goes Dyson serving his penalty.
Paul Menard, the reigning champ and the current points leader.
And I misspoke earlier according to scoring. I think Amy Ruman is a few more laps down than Dyson. So it looks like Dyson still could be on the podium.
Paul Menard thundering around one more time. There's Amy. Running back in 5th.
And there's Tristan behind Dyson and Sam Corey. Not good enough, not striking distance, I would call it. But then DaCosta and Gonzalez for 3rd and 4th are very close to each other.
And considering how tore up DaCosta's race car was, it's amazing he could finish on the podium here.
And amazing that Gonzalez is in the running for the podium after having to come into pit lane.
Coming into this weekend, Paul Menard had 4 victories in the first 8 rounds of the season in the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. And today he's got win number 5 in 2025 as he takes the victory here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. The hard-charging Adam Andretti finishing right behind him in 2nd. After giving him a run for his money all day long here. And unfortunately for Adam, coming up a little bit short, but Paul Menard will extend his points lead. Here comes Chris Dyson. What an up-and-down day he has had. Dyson will get credited with third. Tracy fourth. Amy Ruman fifth. Tristan McKee in the number 14 there, or the 28, I should say, the formerly 14-year-old, now 15 as of just the other day. Tristan McKee will get the win in the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 category. Sam Corey will be third. Gonzalez started up on the front row, will end up finishing third today. DaCosta coming back from a tore-up race car yesterday to finishing fourth here in category. Ninth overall is Jean Buffamonte right behind him, rounding out the top five in TA2. And Beaton will come across the line 17th overall, but will take the win in XGT. In our TA2 Pro-Am, that will go to Roberto Sabato over Jared Audrick and Keith Prochuk. That will be your top three there. Tom Sheheen will finish in fourth. Doug Winston fifth, just in front of Jim Gallagher. Well, that was an active 100-miler here for sure. With the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. A lot of crazy twists and turns to that one that involved more than just the twists and turns on the racetrack. A little bit of everything in that one. Here's Paul Menard making his way down pit road. He'll hang a right here and head to the Jim Weed Winner's Circle. There he is, following Chris Dyson that way. It's Tristan McKee, Sam Corey. They'll be all part of the podium celebration. And into the Jim Weed Winner's Circle comes the Jim Weed number 16 of Chris Dyson. And there's Menard and Andretti. Here's a look at the highlights. Chris Dyson had a great start at the beginning of the day. And Menard now will try to get out of the car, talk to the crew, disconnect everything that's hooked up to the drivers these days. Earplug's still in. And here he comes. The reigning champ and current points leader. Well, I guess they're not ready for you yet, Paul. Here he comes. Finally got everything disconnected. Take the earplugs out, grab a hat, and head to the podium. And we'll go down to the podium as well. Here's Ben.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was quite a race here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Our overall leader in TA points leader, last year's champion, Paul Menard. How was it for you out there? Another crazy race at CTMP.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The car was really good all weekend, and had a little power steering issue in the race. It was kind of intermittent and upset me going down the hills. But biggest thing is that I lost radio, so really lost track of kind of what was going on, but Tony and John could talk to me on the front straight, so I wasn't sure how we were going to pass when the caution came out, how that all works, but the car was really good. Took a little bit to get going, and once it fired off, had really good pace. Wish Dyson didn't have those tire issues. We could have had a battle, and Adam kept me honest at the end. But overall, good weekend up here in Canada.
A good weekend up here in Canada. I'm going to try to make my way through and talk to everybody. Tristan McKee is the next on my list. Our Cube 3 Architecture TA2 winner. I saw him come down here. Here he is with the game bridge. Tristan McKee, don't walk away from me, man. Is that 4 in a row for you?
Yeah, 15.
Nice job. How was it for you?
It's pretty good. After he had a tire issue, we definitely saw some of that in practice with a couple of different teams. So it's just kind of playing a little bit conservative as far as the tires were going, and just kind of waiting for them to get up to temp for a couple of laps. But after that, we pretty much controlled the race. We had some good battles with Sam there between some lappers and stuff like that. So it was definitely really, really cool. I just got to thank all my sponsors, Scott Legacy Racing, all the guys brought me a really, really good car and worked hard this weekend and done a lot of changes since the last race, and Gainbridge and HenderCars.com and Jeff Dickerson. And also this one was for Barry. Super sad to see him go, but also really, really glad, and I'm sure he's happy up there that we could have got this one done for him.
How about that? Tristan McKee, ladies and gentlemen. Where is James Beaton? James, where I am, James, right behind you. James Beaton, winner in XGT, and man, that was quite a race. I don't know how you kept it out of the wall and then fired it back up, got back out there. How was it for you?
Unfortunately, I've been on that grass before. Ron might have said cut the grass today, so I was trying to save him some trouble or whatever. But, I just looked in the mirror for faster traffic at the wrong time and caught the edge, and, that was it. So after that, I was just lapping.
Nice job out there. Finished first in XGT. Thanks for coming out. Then, Roberto Sabato, where are you? He's walking away from me, but I want to talk to him. I see Jackie's excited. All of her favorite drivers won the race, and especially Roberto Sabato, your home track. You've got the 6-gear garage right there. You win in the Pro-Am, and you guys were the battle of the race. How was it for you?
It was really great, but I have to say it was a humble win, because if Barry was here, it might have been different. So I accept the win with humility, but this guy's fantastic. We had a fun race. He had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. It was great. It was fun.
I love it. How about that? Roberto Sabato, we talked to everybody. We're going to come up here to do Winner's Circle. But listen, you guys are welcome to come on down. Just don't block our photographers. We're going to get going here in a second. I'm going to send it up to you in the booth, Ralph.
All right, Ben, looks like the craziness is just getting started down there, and Ben's a perfect ringmaster for it all.
All right, crowd here at Canadian Tire Motorsport.
There's a good look at some of the campers in the line all the way around this racetrack. As Ben said, next week we are headed to Watkins Glen for some great SVRA competition there. The National Championship for the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli will gather once again September 18th through the 21st at Virginia International Raceway down in Danville, Virginia. Looking forward to that. Then we will go to Barber Motorsports Park for the first time, and we'll close things out at Circuit of the Americas come November. So 3 great rounds competition yet to go. Trans Am and Cube 3 Architecture TA2. Now we're getting a look at some of the highlights from today. Tommy Dreese was fast. Sheheen, well, we didn't see that. He got way off course coming on the front straightaway there. Gonzalez was quick on the 10 and had some problems. Amy Ruman back here racing at CTMP finally, and Paul Menard able to get around her headed into turn number 1. Here's that tricky restart. What looked like a huge gain by Dyson and Dreese apparently was a little too much. They got that reset, and Adam Andretti went back to chasing after Paul Menard. And in the end, as they wrapped up the race, Adam just coming up a little bit short. Kept him honest all the way to the finish, and Paul Menard gets win number 5 2025. Coming up after this, we will have an encore round of coverage from the Rolex Monterey Motorsports reunion here on Speed Sport 1. We will have an encore of this broadcast tomorrow, Sunday, at noon Eastern, right here on Speed Sport 1. If you didn't get a chance with all your friends to watch this round from Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, you can do it tomorrow. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back for more here at CTMP, so stay with us. More coverage here on Speed Sport 1 coming your way after these words here from CTMP.
Rev up and get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Okay, so pretend this is your race car. It's on the trailer, and you have an accident. Ouch! At least your truck's insurance will pay for another one? Yeah, not so fast. Standard insurance won't replace your race car, whether it's in the trailer, in the paddock, in the garage, or the repair shop. But at Haggerty, we can protect it for what it's really worth anytime it's off the track. No matter what or where you race, offer less than a set of race tires. Haggerty, let's drive together.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance. Priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
Oh, that was quite a race. Come on now. At Jim Weed Winner's Circle, ladies and gentlemen, this is supposed to be fun. This is a party. We've got a Go Tommy Dreesy sign right there. I love it. Nice job. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start with Extreme GT from just a few hours east of here, a true Canadian. He took his racing license testing here in the mid-'80s, was out there putting on an absolute show. Get loud, Canada, one of your very own, James Beaton. Oh, Canada, you can get louder than that. Your very own Maple Leaf, come on, James Beaton here from the Ontario area. Nick Middleton handing out the trophies. James, come on up here to the top step. Take the mic. Tell us about your race out there.
Well, it started off pretty good, and then we sort of overheated the tires, I think, after about 10 laps. And from then, we just tried to make sure we didn't mess with too many other people's races, and hopefully I didn't. So after that, it was just survive to the end. So thank you very much.
Anybody you want to thank?
Well, really, you always got to thank your family. Wife at home, 38 years, been letting me do this. 2 beautiful kids and 2 beautiful grandkids. And, of course, the crew, Barry, Scott, Brian, Grant, Steve, and everybody else over there, sort of thing. So thanks so much, and thanks for having us. Hope you enjoyed it.
Nice. He said thanks so much, and thanks for having us. One of the polite Canadian. Oh, yeah, and we've lost audio in my right speaker, stage right. I don't know who to talk to about that. The hooligan. I'm being heckled by a soccer hooligan. All right, right, come on, let's hear it for James Beaton, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, nice job. Thanks for competing with us. We're going to try to work on that, ladies and gentlemen. But if you can't hear, come on. Oh, here we go. Look at that. Johnny on the spot. I love it. What's your name? Ray. How about a hand for Ray, ladies and gentlemen? All right, we're going to start. Actually, we're going to go to TA2 Pro-Am Cube 3, TA2 Pro-Am, and Nick Middleton, CEO, co-founder of Cube 3, would like to say something for the Pro-Am in honor of our friend Barry Bowes.
Well, today, thank you very much for all the fans here from Canada, but this is a very sad day for the series that we lost one of our competitors, Barry Bowes. I dedicate this race to Barry Bowes today. He was the current Cube 3 Architecture Pro-Am champion. He'll be greatly missed by everybody in this paddock, but thank you very much for all the support, and thank you very much for all the fans here in Canada. Appreciate it.
Nice. How about that? And we do something a little different in Trans Am. We've done a moment of silence, but for Barry Bowes in his honor, how about a moment of party? Because Barry Bowes loved to party. Come on now, get loud for my friend Barry Bowes. Nice. I like it. Yes, keep it up. I have a feeling that he is a part of this party right now. Barry, we miss you. We love you. Thanks so much for being such a true competitor. But speaking of true competitors, in third place from Chicago in the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Pro-Am, let's hear it. Keith Prochuk with HP Tuners. Come on now, get louder than that. Barry's closest competitor in the Pro-Am series from the NFL, now pro racer, super competitive. Let's hear it. Jared Odrick in the 00 black underwear, Cool Box Cooling Systems car. And then, ladies and gentlemen, he wears an Italian flag, a Canadian flag. He's got a home in Florida, but his garage is right there with 6 gear. Let's hear it. Our leader, Jackie's friend, Roberto Sabato here. How about that? Sometimes knowing the track is a huge advantage, and I'll say he's got some laps here. Keith Prochuk, back up here on the podium. How was it for you out there?
Well, for me, I think I had the best view of everyone. I got to see these guys battle all day, and yeah, it was pretty awesome. I like to see Jared put a move on Roberto on the very last corner of the last lap, and he almost had it, but man, they raced so good, so clean, and yeah, congrats to them both.
How about that? Keith Prochuk, HP Tuners. Jared Odrick, here, take the mic. I can see you want to have some things you want to say.
I'm pleased as punch, and Barry meant a lot to me, and he meant a lot to the series. I don't know why it's so damn emotional, but we miss him, and congratulations, Roberto. That was an awesome race. Thank you.
Jared, I love you, man. I know that it's so hard to do this, and you're coming out with so much adrenaline, so much emotion, but one of your friends, and Troy pointed out, the pleased as punch. That's what Barry would say. He'd be, well, I'm just pleased as punch to get out of the car in first place. And that was so him, so I love that you did a little tribute. Roberto, man, what a race. You two were the race to watch. Take the mic. Tell us about your time out there.
Well, first, I'd like to thank Cube 3, Trans Am, and Mosport for having us back. My team, guys, you guys are unbelievable. Thank you. To my competitors, unbelievable. And as I said to you earlier, this is a humble win because if Barry was here, the podium might look a little bit different. So it was a great race, such clean driver. It's great redemption from last year, getting bumped in the third lap, to come back here again and actually be able to finish. So thank you, guys.
Nice. How about that? How about that? Get loud. I got to point something out, too. We also have a Mike Cope chassis. We've got a Howe chassis, and we've got an M1 chassis all up here on the podium. So let's get loud. How about that? Keith Prochuk, Jared Odrick, Roberto Sabato in our Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Pro-Am Series. Now, we've got some hats to throw out here as Bill Knox comes out, so you guys can take those Sunoco hats, throw them out to the crowd, the loud members of the crowd. Oh, right over Jackie's head. Oh, you can't throw the orange ones out yet, Roberto. Jackie, throw that back up here. Oh, look at the arm on her. Nice job. All right, Canada, even you way back there, even you, Yaz. Let's get loud. Keith Prochuk, Jared Odrick, Roberto Sabato. Man, Roberto's got some fans. I like that. Jared, I know that was difficult, but thank you for saying that. What do we have next, Bill? Uh-oh. Champagne. Look out. Guard the cameras. Uh-oh, what are we doing here? We went out of order. Pirelli hat, Chris Clark, keeping us in order. How about a round of applause for our photographer, Chris Clark, up there, keeping us on task. I like that. Jared Odrick, where's he going? Boom. Oh, over the, oh, and then he gives it to him. Very nice. Oh, Jackie? I don't know. They're just not coming to you, are they? He's out of practice. Come on now, Canada. Let's get loud. Keith Prochuk, Jared Odrick, Roberto Sabato. Hey, Blaze. I love seeing you out here, man. Miss you in the series.
Changes to.
Okay. Uh-oh. Here we go. Man. Hey, nice job. One more round of applause. Come on now. Keith Prochuk, Jared Odrick, Roberto Sabato. I like that, guys. Nice job. Thank you for saying that, Jared. Roberto, thank you. Keith, nice job. Oh, okay. So we have a change for the lead, so they're trying to go get him. Should I go to TA then? Is Tommy here? Well, is Tommy here? Tommy's here. Does anybody see Tommy Dreesy? Is Tommy Dreesy here? Where is he? All right, here we go. We're going to go to TA because we've had some changes, some rules or infractions or something. So this dude actually killed it a few weeks ago in Monterey in IROC. He's the newest IROC champion, International Race of Champions champion, which is redundant. Third place here today with Trent Shoring. Let's hear it. Tommy Dreesy, ladies and gentlemen. Where's that Dreesy sign? Here she is. Look at that, Tommy. You got your own sign, dude. Nice job. In second place. And I was telling him pressure's on him because he's section very smoothly lap after lap, and he was giving it to Paul Menard. But let's hear it. Adam Andretti, ladies and gentlemen, with top liner. Service Pro, unbelievable race. Nice job. Uh-oh. Excuse me, everybody. I got to give it a hug to a very attractive lady. That's just what he's saying right now. I like that. Uh-oh. I'm about to start another fight up here. And then, ladies and gentlemen, 2 in a row. He won here last year with a fantastic battle. He won here again with a fantastic battle. Representing Pittsburgh Paints and Stains, let's hear it for Paul Menard, ladies and gentlemen. Last year's champion. What was that? Representing the state of Wisconsin also. Uh-oh, here we go. Well, first, you want to take care of some business. You got your phone on you. If you follow Tommy Dreesy, he always takes a Dreesy selfie of the podium. Come on now, get loud. The Dreesy selfie. Tommy Dreesy, Adam Andretti, Paul Menard. Dreesy, how was it out there for you?
Are you sure I'm supposed to be up here?
I gotta go by what they say.
No, I mean, these two were the class of the field. I could hang with them the first 3 laps, and I'm like, So just my hat's off to these guys. They've been on fire. We're looking for the setup on our car still, but we keep pushing. Dreesy Motorsports, all the kids and specialists that come over, thank you so much. You built me a car that lasted. Something happened to Dyson. On the restart, you know what? Maybe I'll let you tell the story of the restart. Well, from my point of view, the flagger went green, but Menard wasn't in the box, I guess. So me and Dyson just took off, and Man, I was like Forrest Gump running, but I couldn't hold him off. Anyway, thank you, everybody. And Mosport, Trans Am, this is so good coming here. The Canadian fans are just the best.
I have to echo that. I also love the Canadian motorsport fans. You guys are a little bit more educated than some of our American fans, so thank you guys very much for following along. Adam, take the mic. Tell us about your race.
Well, thank you, Ben. It was an eventful one for us. First of all, a huge thank you to Service Partners, Top Liner. Service Partners came on board for this race. Hopefully we do more with them going on in the future. This was a great run to come out of the box with that. And it wasn't without its struggles early on, right, when we had that battle going with the three of us, with Chris and Paul and myself. When Chris got the flat tire, right at that point, I lost all electronics, and we have electric power steering. So for about lap 4 on, we were power steering less. And so we stuck it in and able to keep him honest for this championship and keep it going and keep going, pushing. But congrats to Paul and the 3GT group. You guys did a great job again this weekend and brought home another win. And to my guys, to Burton Racing, I wouldn't want to race for any other group. You guys are amazing and such a awesome group of people to work with. And Claudio, our leader, just does a great job with us. But very, very grateful for it all. And we're keep coming. We're going to keep coming. And thank you to the Canadian race fans. You guys are an example of how race fans should be everywhere in the world. I mean, absolutely outstanding, outstanding race fans. And I know Jared had already talked about it, and there's nothing I could say that Jared already didn't say, but I'm the only one of this group that's actually raced in TA2 as well. And Barry Bowes and I had awesome, awesome battles on the racetrack. And an absolute gentleman, an absolute racer. And he will be missed by not only this paddock, but everybody who ever knew the man, because he was just a special human being. So thank you again all, and appreciate it.
Adam Andretti and then Paul Menard. 2 wins in a row here at CTMP. You've got to like this place. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, it's an eventful race. Always great to come back up here to Canada. One of my first ice races back in the mid-'90s was in Thunder Bay, Ontario. So we're a little ways away from that, but a lot of fun coming to Canada. Obviously, like Adam said, great race fans. Seeing the crowd all the way around the track and the support that we get with the series is amazing. Great car all weekend. Just didn't have to adjust on the car much. Little tweaks here and there. Dyson got us in qualifying, and he kind of set sail at the start. And I thought I had a tire rub, but I was smelling the smoke coming from his car. And then once he had his issue, it cleared up for us. But like Adam said, we had a little power steering issue, and the restart was crazy. Normally the leader goes to the zone and they start the race, but the flagman threw the flag about 100 feet before I was even in the zone. So if anybody got damaged from that, I apologize. I wasn't expecting the flagman to start the race for us. But overall, good, awesome day. We're chipping away. Adam's keeping us honest week in, week out. 3GT does an amazing job every week, and on to Virginia.
And on to Virginia. How about that? All right. Hold those trophies up, Tommy Dreese. Come on now, let's get loud. Tommy Dreese, Adam Andretti, Paul Menard. How about that? That was quite a race. Quite a race in all fields, actually. You guys can throw those hats out if you'd like. Boo! Ooh, Adam, a little bit of a boomerang. Oh, what a catch. Who wants Paul Menard's, he's saying. Here we go. Oh, nice. Oh, a little overhand throw. We don't see that very often. Dreese brushes it off. Here we go. Where are you going? Oh, there we go. There you go, to the Dreese side. Come on now, Canada. Don't lose steam on us. Get loud. Tommy Dreese trying to leave. Adam Andretti, Paul Menard. Dreese's like, I got friends here I want to talk to. Yeah, what's the deal? Uh-oh. Man, these speakers are already sticky. Oh, I'm getting in your way. Sorry about that. All right, come on now, get loud. Dreese. Oh, they don't go for each other's eyes like normal. Nice job. Nice job. Canada, keep up the energy. Come on now, keep up the energy. Our MCO lap leader, not to you. That goes to him. Wait, our MCO, oh, that's the Trent Shoring hat. Okay, sorry. Are we going to do the MCO lap leader yet? Okay, the MCO lap leader is Paul Menard. Paul, wave to the crowd. He is our MCO lap leader. There we go. All right. You're excused, sir. Yep. Thank you, Paul. All right, now get loud. The Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series. He had quite a shunt in yesterday's practice. They put together a different car for him, and now he's on the third step. Let's hear it for Julian DaCosta, ladies and gentlemen, third place in Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series. Canada, you got to get louder than that. They put way too much work into this for that kind of response. In second place, fighting the whole race, ladies and gentlemen, that beautiful number 70 black Toyota Camry, doing very well in the points. Came into this race third in points. This is going to help him out. Get loud, Canada. Sam Corey. Both Julian and Sam Corey with Nitro Motorsports. I love that old school Toyota off-road livery of the race suit here. And then first place, our points leader in the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series, 15-year-old, let's hear it, Tristan McKee with Gamebridge and Spire Motorsports. Sorry. How about that? Absolutely taken off. Julian DaCosta. Great race out there. A ton of hustle from you, a ton of hustle from the Nitro Motorsports team to be in a different car, to qualify so well in a different car, and then to finish where you did. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, obviously yesterday was a really hard hit, and we turned it around really well, went into qualifying in the backup car. The Nitro crew did a great job getting the car set up for me and everything comfortable so that I could go out there and put it on third. It was a great car. You know, I can't thank them enough for doing what they do, and they just do a great job at everything that they do. So I'm really thankful. Everybody here, all the fans, you guys are awesome. This track is always packed. I remember last year. It's a super fun track. I'm happy with the result.
You want to thank your parents, your girlfriends here? You've got your whole family here.
Yeah, my parents, my girlfriend, they're a really big support. Everybody at home that's watching the race. I have a great family and group of friends that support me, and I can't thank them enough. So,
how about that, ladies and gentlemen? Julian DaCosta. Sam Corey, I asked you, you haven't been to this track before, and how is it going to be? And you said, well, I'd never been to Lime Rock, and I won that. So obviously you're good at the tracks you don't know very well. Tell the fans here what you think of their track.
Yeah, it's a cool place. High commitment track, a lot of fun. So just happy to be here with the Nitro Motorsports guys. They gave me a great race car today, so I can't thank them enough. I know Nick Tucker's not here, but he was definitely watching, and can't thank him and all my guys enough.
Nice. How about that, Sam Corey, ladies and gentlemen? And then Tristan McKee, our points leader. Tristan, take the mic. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, it was really good. Obviously, the 10 had some issues there, so that's unfortunate to them, but once we got past them, we kind of controlled the race and just kind of maintained. Everyone was kind of worried about some tire issues there throughout the whole race, and throughout practice we knew some people had some issues, so that was all kind of a thought in the back of our mind. But all of my SLR guys brought me a really fast Chevy, so props to them. They worked hard this weekend getting this car dialed in. Had a lot of changes since the past race, so it feels really good to be just as fast as we were after the changes and all. So thank you to Gamebridge and HenderCars.com and Franklin Rolopero and everyone at Spire Chevrolet. So they prepared me really well to come to this race, and thank you to all of them.
How about that? All right. Hold up those trophies, guys. Let's get some pictures. Come on, Canada. Don't lose me here. Julian DaCosta, Sam Corey, Tristan McKee. Nice job. We'll give him some of these, too. All right, we'll give him some Cube 3 hats, some Cube 3 cubes. You can hold those up and throw those out. Posey, David Posey. Ooh, that was a ground ball. Sorry about that. Not a good throw. Who wants a Cube 3? There we go. Oh, right off the guy's shoulder. All right, come on, Canada. Keep that energy. Hold those Cube 3s up, and then you might be catching some hats. You want the trophies too, Chris? Trophies too, guys. Trophies too, sorry. There we go. All right, Canada, now get loud. Come on now. Julian DaCosta, Sam Corey, Tristan McKee. Nice. Jared. Oh, that was terrible. Let me try again. Use the wind. Go that way. Oh, and then he dropped it. All right, you guys can throw those hats out, or you can keep them, whatever you want to do. Are you guys having fun here, Canada? You want another one of these? Boop. There we go. All right, come on now, get loud. Julian DaCosta, Sam Corey, Tristan McKee, hold up those trophies. Wear those Pirelli hats. Last chance, Canada. Come on now, get loud. There we go. There's that energy. I like it. Keep it up. What do you want? What do you want, hooligan? You want a cube? But you can't use your hands. That's a handball. All right, they've got the sparkling water. What are you guys doing with it? Come on now, last chance, Canada. Get loud. Julian DaCosta, Sam Corey, Tristan McKee with the sparkling water. You okay? Right into the camera lens. Nice. I love it. Hey, is that all we have? We got the Omologato thing? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got one more thing. We've got the Omologato goes to Chris Dyson for the fastest lap. Matt, you're coming up here, buddy. Dyson's gone. But here we go to one of the Chris Dyson Racing. How about a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Maybe one of the best mustaches in motorsports there. Man, wait, hold on. Now, that was a crazy race. How in the world did you get the fastest lap out there?
Yeah, Chris worked really hard for it. He did a great job there.
Chris did really good out there. How about that? Well, listen up, CTMP. It's already on our calendar. We will be back here next year. We absolutely love coming here. We're going to bring more cars next year, so keep the fans alive, have some energy, and we'll be back we've got F4 coming up next. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And come get some gym weed.
All right, Ben, thank you. Great job down there on the podium. A lot of happy finishers there. Don't forget, coming up after this, right here on Speed Sport 1, we have encore coverage from last weekend's Rolex Monterey Motorsports reunion. What a great event that was. And we will have an encore of this Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli from CTMP right here on Speed Sport 1 tomorrow at noon Eastern. Also tomorrow, we kick off our IMCA Super Nationals Marathon with the award-winning documentary series Boone, and you do not want to miss that. It's followed by an encore of the 2024 IMCA Super Nationals from Boone, and then our IMCA Super Nationals coverage continues Monday with the Road to Boone, live from the IMCA Super Nationals at 7 p.m. Eastern every night next week right here on Speed Sport 1. It's going to be an action-packed week of racing from Boone, Iowa. You're not going to want to miss any of it. A great event, outstanding coverage. You're going to enjoy it. All right, lots more to come from here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park as they wrap up the activities by the podium in the Jim Weed Winner's Circle. Here's a look at the now five-time winner in 2025, Paul Menard. Adam Andretti's number 17.
Communication isn't just important, it's everything. Established in 1996 in Daytona Beach, Florida, Speedcom Communications was born from a passion for racing and a vision to revolutionize motorsports communication. Trusted by competitors across the world.
Okay, so pretend this is your race car. It's on the trailer, and you have an accident. Ouch! At least your truck's insurance will pay for another one? Yeah, not so fast. Standard insurance won't replace your race car, whether it's in the trailer, in the paddock, in the garage, or the repair shop. But at Hagerty, we can protect it for what it's really worth anytime it's off the track. No matter what or where you race, offer less than a set of race tires. Hagerty, let's drive together.
good is this? Look at this view from Losowski.
It brings all my fans, it brings the audience into the car with me.
Speed turn, 140 mile an hour entry speeds.
The quickest and most efficient way for me to get information to my drivers is from using the VBox HD2 system.
And we are back here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park as the cars now leave the Jim Weed Winner's Circle and start making their way down to Tech. They'll go through post-race tech inspection, and then they'll be released back to the teams, and they'll make their way home. So where are we going next? Well, we're going back into the States. Next race on the calendar is September 18th through the 21st down in Danville, Virginia, at Virginia International Raceway. And then it's October 17th through the 19th, so we head to Alabama, Barber Motorsports Park. Outstanding venue. Should be a great racing weekend there. And then October 30th through November 2nd, I guess that means we'll get to see Ben Cissell in a Halloween costume. Circuit of the Americas, COTA, to wrap up the year for the National Championship. The Western Championship will go back to action at Thunder Hill Raceway Park in Northern California with a doubleheader October 10th through the 12th. Then they will join us October 30th through the 2nd at COTA, close out their championship as well. That'll be a huge weekend, and you'll see it live here on Speed Sport 1. So VIR, Barber, and COTA to wrap up the 2025 season for Trans Am presented by Pirelli. It's going to be a wild one as we fight to the finish. Make sure you join us for each of those rounds. Again, a reminder coming into today's race here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. This is what the championship standings look like. Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. Paul Menard, the reigning champ, on top of the points coming into the race. Then Menard's Ford Mustang, he had a 29-point advantage over Adam Andretti. And that top liner Chevy Camaro, he extended it a little bit, but with Adam finishing in second, he doesn't let Paul escape too far. Paul's going to have to fight for this all the way to the end. He wants to go back-to-back with the championships. Tommy Dreese sitting there in the trench shoring Motul-backed Chevy in third. And in the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Championship, Tristan McKee, that Spire Gamebridge SLR M1 Chevy Camaro, commanding points lead there over Thomas and Unziata. The Nitro Motorsports Toyota Camry, and Sam Corey will gain a little ground here today in this Nitro Motorsports Camry as he finishes second to Tristan here today. Well, that'll put a close to this round here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Big thank you to Ron Fellows, Trans Am Series Hall of Famer in the inaugural class, his entire staff here at CTMP for welcoming us all in and providing such a great venue for us to go racing today. It's been a great weekend here just outside of Toronto and Bowmanville, Ontario, Canada. And we look forward to coming back in 2026 as part of the 60th anniversary celebration. It's fun putting all the classes together here today. Congratulations to Paul Menard, Adam Andretti, and Tommy Dreese, as well as Tristan McKee, Sam Corey, and Tyler Gonzalez on their top three finishes. Big thanks to all the great fans up here. We'll see you back here next year as we go racing once again here at CTMP. And reminder, if you missed it, your friends missed it, you can catch this race again tomorrow in an encore presentation right here on Speed Sport 1. For Ben Cissell, I'm Ralph Sheheen. So long from Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Hi, welcome to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Ralph Sheheen here with you alongside of James Lawley as we get ready to go racing here. We are racing with Formula 4. F4 is out on track, James.
Yeah, looks like they just kind of started the race here, so see what's going on in the first lap.
Great fight going on here. That looks like Keikai Hawanio battling there. Fighting for position, going to the outside here, now to the inside.